Social infrastructure is recorded live on Twitch. Battle reports will be linked in the description so you can follow along.
So I ended up absolutely butchering my intro on this one, and you're going to get a little bit of a feedback loop. But with all that being said, welcome to Social Infrastructure, a podcast about the Galaxy simulator known as EVE Online, and now I'll drop you into where it gets good.
Oh, me? You didn't read your whole thing. Okay, don't set me up like that, Levi. All right. On this podcast, we talk to small, medium-sized corporations and alliances. Don't set me up like that. We talk to their directors, what they're currently doing. Then in future episodes, we will check back up on them, get an update, and we also like to look over some EVE news and just random battle reports. I am the real Eilish. With me is Levi Jameson, or as better known as Titus Kyle. And with us today is Galgarak from We Form Volta, the background leader of We Form Blob. Thank you for coming with us, Galgarak.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You want to start off the questions, Levi?
I'm not actually hearing anything.
Hey, Levi, we can't hear you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I started EVE pretty much at the beginning of the game. Joined many different groups and oh, there you go. Yeah, but many different groups, and I've kind of learned my skills through those groups. I joined like Band of Brothers back in the day. Broody Clever Empire, if you remember those guys. They were in Fountain. They crashed and burned pretty quick, but it was pretty fun. Then I joined an alliance called Rebel Alliance of New Eden, and I was with them for about 7 years. Did a lot of FCing with them, and I learned a lot from them, with them, and they were kind of mid-range but really good guys. We met up a lot in real life, and then from there I kind of got tired of it. I was either going to quit the game or go on to something different, and I went and joined Blades of Grass, which was very fun, I must say.
Oh, the Blades of Grass, that's a choice.
It was. Well, I didn't know at the time or anything like that, but they were great people, and I met some really good people there that actually got me where I am now, so it worked out. So then from there we went and joined Slice, and for a little while after Blades of Grass evac'd to Dronelands. And then NC, of course, joined them for a bit, and then this is when I went into, I don't remember, Dopamine, and Digital Dopamine, for about 3 months. That was some awesome PvP content there. We did a huge wormhole eviction. We got about 860 bill from that. It took a long time to evac all that stuff. The fort dropped 22 fully fit Rorquals.
22?
22, never mind the carriers and the faxes and the dread.
What a payout. I mean, man. What I do to get something like that.
But the hole was too small to get anything out like that, so we had to self-destruct it all and get the insurance. So, it stripped them bare, of course, got all the drones. That's back when the excavators were worth some money. And then Dopamine joined Volta, and got my Volta experience through that. Then they left Volta while I was on vacation, which I really didn't want to leave Volta, so thankfully they took me back. And I just, played with them out of Farah, our homeland, of course. And great times in Farah. Obviously the meta changed, and we had to try and do some things in Norsec, in Hakonnen first against Freight Train. And then we kind of rolled over UFC, no offense to them, but they kind of just rolled through and took over their space in a week, I think it was. And then I got, going forward about maybe 7 months, It was known to like Starfleet and Francis and Wolf that I was very into helping the new bros. I don't know if there's a streamer called Dog Game. He had a co-op that I invited to the area and helped them out. So they came to me and says, "Well, you like these new bros? Why don't you start forming Blob?" So that's what we did.
Whatever happened to Doc? I haven't really seen him around that too much.
Well, long story on that one, but I'll make it really short. A lot of the people in his corp like left and joined the main corp in Blob, and it kind of, I think, affected him a lot. So he kind of took a break from it. But we're in contact with him. You know, I say anytime you want to come back, we'll have ships. We'll ping out the fleets. Just come back and we'll have some fun.
That's too bad. I hope he comes back. I remember watching his streams because, like, during that time, like when Blob first formed, that's when Womp was still down there, and I remember watching his streams and just the amount of energy he had to doing anything. He's like, "We're doing a mining fleet. We're gonna have our miners, and we're gonna have our defense fleet," and I'm like, "Bro, that's a lot." Like, you are radiating a lot of energy, and I love it. Like, fuck, like, good for you guys, but damn. Yeah, and he did sell it. But tell us about We Form Blob. When you guys first formed, it was just, Doc's group, and you guys were just kind of there. I think there was a little bit of unorganization, but I feel like under, you leading it and, like, with Volta's support, you guys have come a long way.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I couldn't have done any of it without... I mean, it's not just me, obviously. I mean, there's Francis. He's doing a lot of work because he does a lot for Volta as well. And then, of course, Covert got involved. If you know Covert 1, he's very into it. He does a lot of the IT stuff. Big shout out to them, by the way. Covert and Miller doing all the IT stuff for Blob and Volta. You imagine the amount of DMs they get for everything that goes wrong. It was like 1,600 members now. So. But it was difficult at the beginning. I think it would be you'd be able to say the same for anything in the beginning because you're kind of worried because you have that expectation. I have a high expectation of what sort of gameplay I want from Eve. Not everyone has that same expectation that I do, so I kind of worry if the people I'm getting to join Blob were having the same sort of fun that I would be having. But obviously, they find the game a lot more compelling and a mystery than I guess I do, so they find it more fun. And I was going around high sec, I was like scoping miners and saying, "Hey, why didn't you come out here? We've got all these R64 moons, why didn't you come and mine them? There's no one mining them properly right now." So, and it definitely helped, but we definitely started off small, and it was a little disorganized to begin with. I was literally grabbing neutral people in our space that were doing exploration. I said, "Hey, you could just do this under a blue, and you don't have to be neutral." And actually, I got one of our main members in Blob D, which is the main corp in Blob. Through that, I just said, "Hey, come and join us," while he was exploring.
You might as well explore with us and sell us your loot rather than us hunting you out of our space.
Yeah, when you're getting back to the DMs, I can only imagine. We got a real small group, and it's still, a couple people a day with, valid concerns or questions or things happening. I couldn't imagine being the go-to on for that many members.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I wake up and I don't mind it. When I say this, I really don't mind it. To about probably 10, sometimes 15 messages on Discord. It's like, I've got to do this first before I answer my actual work emails.
And it's kind of the name of the game, kind of what you sign up for. I think most of us know you have it coming.
Right. And I've done some similar leadership things before, like in that role, but not to this scale, I don't think.
No, few. I think very few have, and you've kind of a select few at this point.
Yeah.
I think it definitely takes a specific kind of person just to try to round up the cats and make everything work. But you went off and said that you're more Nubra friendly. So what is the type of community you're trying to make? Are you trying to make like a community that facilitates these new bros and kind of holds their hands and offers them, guidance and, support?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I try and we definitely encourage new bros. I found, honestly, though, that the type of people we're actually encouraging to join are more mid to high-ish SP, mid-skilled players that kind of know what they're doing already. And, I'm kind of surprised. That's why our doctrines would change so. Because before we would have really simple doctrines, like Qualms and Ruptures and Hurricanes, just training that T2 gun that would eventually travel over to a Moonin, Moonin blob. But more and more people are being able to fly things like the Shags and the armor doctrines, such as Zealots and Demos. And, it's been really surprising, but definitely the new bro is encouraged. And I think that's something that I look for when you recruit people into the leadership role in these corps. They have to realize that they need to be able to pass that information on and have patience with these people, because people will ask questions which you think, oh my god, really? But really they're actually asking a genuine question because they really don't know.
Yeah.
But so yeah, back to the culture though. I mean, we're just looking at, we don't want to get too big. From what I understand, we don't want to get, say, horde size. I think perfectly would be around about maybe initiative size, maybe 6,000 pilots ish, if we can get there. But yeah, that'll be nice. But we want to have a friendly environment. The whole point of Blob is to be an environment where people can come and play with us and play with people in Volta, but not have that, which I would say, huge requirements to get into Volta. Not everybody has 3 accounts or are willing to triple box or quad box. And not everybody has a Saber or a Logi or a regular and a cap ready to go. It's difficult. So they get to experience the FCs of Volta and some of the gameplay and some of the whaling stuff that we do, but without the vouchers and things like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I wish that something like that maybe a year ago was a thing. I definitely would have liked to think that I would have made my way over to something like that. Sounds like a pretty cool deal. Always kind of been a fanboy of Volta, just watching what they can do with, I don't know, quarter the numbers and people triple box, and just how they're listening on their comms and their FC structure. It's a cool group.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, for me anyway, for playing so long, about 19 years now, I would say Volta is kind of, for me, the end game. So that's what I would say. But Blob as well gets to experience something like that, just like all the fleets we've been having against RHB recently. I mean, some of these guys have never experienced fleets like this before, where we just sat there just pounding on them, and it's so awesome. Honestly, they were feeding, to be fair, but it was a nice feed.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, I've been watching those battle reports a little bit from that conflict. A little one-sided.
Yeah. They obviously called in Horde at some point. I think, I'm not going to speculate, but I do believe they may have paid them, but I'm not going to go into that. But it didn't really work out well the second time. They kind of limped home, and we just killed them on every gate, so it was pretty fun.
Nice.
How is so after that whole RHP content, you're taking a lot of their space. How's the climate down there with Brave moving in? Are you guys just kind of letting Brave come in, and you guys are just gonna have like this weird like neutral existence?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't know the full thing on that, but from what I understand, Brave came in with our blessing, and it wasn't a blessing of like, oh, we can't wait to blue you. It was, we can't wait to kill you. So it was just, a better way of having content on our doorstep. But we didn't expect this RHP thing to happen. This was completely gone out of, figure the bunt out of the blue. Wink, wink. it was definitely a surprise. I think it was a surprise for some of their members as well. So yeah, they definitely didn't expect to be shot on the gate while we were still blue, but hey, that's what they do.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely interesting. Still, it's kind of a lot of stuff going on up in Pure Boy, and you kind of get to, one of the best areas to have conflict. Take out those new guys and get them some experience.
Oh yeah, definitely. Obviously, sometimes difficult. Brave honestly comes and visit us with manageable fleets, so that's nice. Sometimes they come with 30 or 40 dudes in T1 ships, and sometimes I feel bad because sometimes they're like, "Well, let's form Hurricanes," and it's like, "Well, it's a bit much for their cruisers. We don't want to, outmatch them too much, or they won't come back."
Yeah. The thing with Brave and when Out of the Blue was out there deployed over in Geminate, if you give them an engageable fight and you just talk to their FCs, they usually take it. They usually sit there and let you brawl it out. And I honestly really respect Brave for doing that. And I think having them in that area and kind of having that weird little agreement just to coexist would be really awesome for you guys and for Volta altogether, and just so you guys have the friendly content there whenever you want.
Yeah, I think the game too would be in a lot better place if more groups would kind of adopt the mentality that Brave has with those good fights and just going out there to have fun.
Yeah, definitely props to them that they've broken away mostly from all the blocks that they've always known. It's kind of scary to do that, to try and do it, I guess, on their own, but not completely, but definitely not surrounded by 20, 30,000 other pilots that could help them.
Yeah. So what are you guys' future plans? What do you guys have really seems like you've been killing it and taking space and probably filling into that pretty nicely. How are you going to keep the momentum going?
Yeah, so we're looking at a few things. There's a lot of work to do, with whatever new space may occur. I've definitely been looking at certain areas to deploy, just for a bit of fun. Of course, we've got Brave on the doorstep, so we can have fun with them. I think this conflict with RHP has definitely brought out the fiercer side of some of the blob members, and definitely shown the light on some new FCs and some FCs that came over from Horde and so on, that have been flying, joined blob and been helping a lot with that. So taking out the blob.
Yeah.
And it's been great looking at that, and people have been stepping up, trying to FC, because we've got a great SRP program. So even on roaming ships or anything like that, we usually SRP them. So just go and take it out. We don't care if you whelp. Just go and have some fun.
You SRP roaming ships, Galgarak. Are you guys recruiting?
That's nice.
Oh my goodness.
For the most part, yeah. We're not going to SRP a freaking blingy Orpheus, okay? But
I don't fly Orpheuses anymore. I fly blingy Garmers. I'll have you know.
Okay. We might SRP your point, but that's really it.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so I think going forward, looking maybe hit a softer target just as blob, see what we can handle just on their own. I think, honestly, saying that, though, probably people from Volta will want to get involved in that too if it gets a bit boring. So, we'll see what happens there.
Are you guys getting involved in the init and try fights that have been having going down in Cloud Ring?
We've been, if you've seen the kill boards, but we've definitely been getting involved. It's kind of weird with init because, from what I can see and from what I know, Volta has always been kind of on a friendly-ish. We will kill each other, but we'll help each other too, sort of thing.
It's kind of like a mutual respect.
Exactly. I remember when we were in Fairue, we would be killing Init Rorks in the morning, and they'll be with us killing NC Rorks in the evening. So it's they have no ill will, I think, for the most part. But I think, honestly, getting involved, that's not really we've been getting involved, but from what I can see, I'm not sure. Honestly, if goons come and help and do whatever they want to do, it's not much you can do against 4 full goon fleets. It's pretty tricky.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely in a little corner.
But yeah, but I believe they're still part of the GTC, so they're always going to be, if they need it, with us.
Nice.
So, what is we were talking earlier. You guys went off and you took a lot of like the RHP refugees. You took one of their larger corps, and then you're getting a lot of these old block people coming just to relax and have fun. Tell me more about that.
But yeah, I mean, as I say, I was surprised to see so many people wanting to join. I mean, it was very slow going to begin with blob, but I always knew if we could get to a certain point, almost like jumping off the cliff, that people would start to roll in on their own without me having to constantly try and find people to join. They would come to us, and that started to happen. And they normally go to SFC, some of the bigger blocks people do, because obviously he's a lot more well known than myself and some of the other guys. So, for example, with RHP, I mean, obviously it was advantageous for, say, some of them to join us, and honestly, they've been nothing but an asset since we've had them. Our war wasn't really with the members of RHP. There was just a lot of issues with mainly 1 or 2 of their leadership, so it was just sad to see, because we had great relationships with RHP. We did some great things. We did a lot of manufacturing and stuff. So when their members wanted to come over, like legitimately wanted to come over, it was a great thing to see. They could actually see between the lines and see what was going on with that. And there was a funny moment where one guy didn't want to get his corps kicked because they had so much assets in the Keepstar, so he actually warped his super to my character so I could get in it, jump it to one of our forts that we gave them ACLs on. And it was literally like and then we escorted one of their orcas through their main staging under their nose with a hurricane fleet, and they didn't even bat an eyelid. It was so funny.
Oh, that's very, very nice of you to do that.
Yeah, so we wanted them in, you see. We don't want to lose them from the area. I mean, they're an asset. I mean, they're great at manufacturing. They're great at... I mean, the Chaos Army guys that joined, they've been great with the entosis and structure bashing. I mean, it's been nothing but structure bash. So it's just, getting over that boring... My structure bashes, we have it's like a quiz night. So you win... was it like 20 million ISK every time you answer a question right? So it was, I think I lost a lot of ISK that night, but it was good.
That's awesome. Yeah, they definitely were pretty entrenched up there and had a lot of assets in space.
Yeah, I think when we ref the Keepstar, and we also killed their Satoya, it was kind of a sealed deal at that point, I think.
Yeah.
For them.
I bought some stuff from that Keepstar. That's for sure.
Yeah, me too. They had like whole like bundles of, they're like, oh, buy 30 Caracal hulls and get it on a discount. I'm like, oh my god, this is like a shopping mall up here.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, and you can asset safety to the Ara Fort on grid. It'll be there in 5 days. If you've got blue status, of course.
So you guys going to reopen the Walmart up again back there? So
I believe it's going to go back up again. It's honestly, it's funny you say, because it's been difficult with the influx of people. We kind of did the market based on how many. I mean, we went from 8. We probably doubled in size in the last 3 weeks. So it's been, the amount of people buying stuff has been a lot more than we anticipated. So we're going to have to buy a lot more for the actual current market. But yeah, I think definitely there's space for people to make money. I mean, if you want to drop some money in there and put your products on there, just go ahead. I mean, it'll be a great thing for it. And jump freighter fuel's a bit cheaper now, so that's good too.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like you guys are a little bit of victim from your own success. Nothing wrong with that.
All right.
So when Rots was on here last time, he kind of gave briefly gave a story on how you guys met. Sounds like you might have infiltrated their organization at the time.
Yeah. It was. Well, I got tasked to get a spy into Vindictive, and they were in Vindictive at the time. And no offense to them, but it was really not hard to get a spy in there. But it was. They invited me with open arms. They were wonderful. I honestly became. It was the best experience for me because I actually felt like I became a member with them. Like a lot of my other spies, I'm kind of set back a bit. I don't get involved so much, but I really got involved with them. And then they joined Boom, which was perfect because we were about to start a campaign against Boom, which is freight train diplomacy. And that was perfect. So I got to do a lot of, espionage stuff. There was a time, I think, there's a video of it somewhere. There was a Hakonan bait where I said, "Oh my God, there's a Nyx hitting a POS," and all of a sudden the dude finds it, and then they drop like 16 dreads on it, and then we instantly do a counter drop of dreads and like 40 or 50 other dudes in sacrileges. And I didn't realize it at the time because I was listening to it on comms that they also dropped a couple of supers as well. And we managed to kill one of the supers as well.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it was definitely a successful 2-week play on that one. But I had some not so good ones. I mean, I was watching a carrier rat for about 3 weeks on one of my ults and almost dropped on him, but he managed to jump off. So that was a waste of 3 weeks. But yeah, it was fine. But it was the funniest thing. Whenever I wanted to rat on my own, people were like taking my sites. I would log in my Cloaky Camper, and everyone would just go away, so I could just rat in peace with my Boom tune. So no one knew that I was just like the brave dude just standing there against the Cloaky Camper.
Oh man,
and it was me awesome the whole time. But yeah, they were great dudes, and I had to come clean eventually with them because they were joining Volta. So it was going to be a bit messy when I get on comms. I'm like, "Oh, hey guys, this
you
is
remember me?
Yeah, it's me." So I came clean to him. I think I came clean to Jin first. I think I said, "Yeah, I can't come with you guys." He's like, "Why?" I says, "Because I'm your Volta spy." But they were very good about it. Very good.
Yeah, it sounds like it's pretty good spirit about it. Kind of quick little backstep. Do you so using Cloaky Campers and stuff in the past? Have you seen much of a change now with the I can't even remember what the thing the decloaks?
Oh, the observation thing. Yeah, I definitely do. I've still been using a few of them during the RHP campaign, and they don't really use them. You can just use non-cloaky ships and have it very impossible to probe down, or you could just have something extremely fast that nothing could catch. We were at one point putting small POSs down and just sitting in there. Some people don't realize that you're in a POS, so it's like, you're kind of cloaky camping in a way. I used to fly with I don't remember Marshy. We used to use his cloaky. He had like 150 cloaky campers or 300 cloaky campers, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I think he just came back to the game as well, so I'm sure he's not doing it. But yeah, they've made a difference, but they cost a lot, and they're one-time deployable, so it's like 40 mil. And if they're actually at the computer, they can just recloak.
They just ping.
Yeah, they recloak, move away, and then they can't get decloaked again for another 15 minutes because they have the buff to stop them decloaking. So it kind of works for the AFKers. You can do it. You can watch their kill boards to see when they're actually active, so you can figure out when they'll be AFK. But yeah, I don't know. I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
That's something. I mean, I think it was definitely better they did something than nothing at all. I know, it definitely, some of those guys like Marshy and stuff get a little oppressive, but I mean, that's also another, style of gameplay that they did take away. So there's definitely that, ebb and flow or pull on it. Good.
Are you guys saying mushy? Like mushy alt 1 through?
No. I know who you mean. No, not Callum.
Oh my god, he was the worst. Just everywhere. So many of them.
Yeah.
No, Marshy,
yeah.
he was in Bomber's Bar with Bomber's Bar, and then he joined Volta in Blopsec.
Everywhere. Just everywhere.
It was everywhere. It was so great, though, because he'd be like, hey guys, I see some Rockles. Or hey guys, there's a carrier out.
Well, and there's so many of them, too, that you just get, it's just like a part of everyday life. So it's like, it's not like, well, we could either not play the game or go out and rat anyway.
Right. And you could only be a victim once, so I mean, you
Yeah.
know, there's only one victim out of the 150 that he's going to be.
That's pretty awesome.
Talking about like the cloaky camping and stuff. What is a lot of the content you guys do for Blob?
Well, at the moment, obviously, you know, with Blob, it's not completely as PvP central as say Volta is. So, content-wise, you know, they enjoy like what most blocks do. They do mining and PVEs, you know, sites, and you know, we have access to quite a few R64s, so it's good mining goo. You know, getting some money up. It's amazing how much ISK a new bro can make in a venture when a R64 crits. It's pretty good. So it's you know, they do that. Not just mining, they're getting into manufacturing, some T2 manufacturing, PvP, of course. Lots of action. We get a lot of roaming groups. So
Yeah, that area actually gets a ton of like just a ton of content through that Trinos gate. Even just like gate camping on Trinos in general just brings a lot of content. You know, you get very, very lucky with people just being very stupid, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and they always go through CCP, which is, you know, our main hub at the moment. So there's always something, and the ESSs, of course, have been great for you know, people coming in and trying to actually do stuff.
Yeah,
I think at one point they got up to 500 million ISK in the CCP one just to try and bait people to come in, but they actually never did. So
that's funny. That's what I was just going to ask. If you guys ever push those ticks up and bait with it, that's awesome.
Well, the game's kind of gone to Marauders Online at the moment, so you know, Marauders can make pretty good ticks. Not as good as a super, I don't think. About on par with a carrier if you do it right.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was taught, no, that was definitely my training push. Now I'm not, never really got to use one out there, but now I'm kind of looking to get into those Black Ops battleships at some point. There's been a group using them on us quite a bit, and they're pretty effective.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, I told you earlier about our Panther gang in Volta, and if we can get as many as we can together, I mean, the most I've seen is about 50, 60-ish Panthers, plus other Black Ops, so not just Panthers. But it's really effective.
Oh,
really
I bet. Yeah, that's a lot of Black Ops. So you guys running Arty Fit with that?
No, I believe it is.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, it's not Arty Fit. It's, what do you call it? My brain's coming in.
Autocannons or
autocannons? There you go. Autocannons. Yeah, my head. Yeah.
Laser Panther.
Yeah, Laser Panther. There you go.
Yeah, never seen it coming.
Yeah, it's been they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Of course, the flashy ones drop their marshals.
Yeah.
With their officer neutralizer, just so they can get on the kill with a purple.
That's awesome. I didn't think about that. Well, it's definitely a safety in numbers on that one. That's an expensive haul to bring out. I think they're going for about $5 billion last I looked, but
yeah. That's the thing about the space that we're in. I mean, you know, if you know how to do it, you can make a lot of ISK. I mean, it's a lot of opportunity, and I think people are realizing that now.
Yeah, I think there's more opportunity all over the game that people don't really realize, or, you know, everyone looks to just like ratting, for instance, and how that's kind of been nerfed lately, and you know, ISK revenue is kind of dead in the game. But like you said, you know, moon mining, and we've been making a lot of just gas mining. Just like an adventure, easy.
Yeah,
they're everywhere.
Yep. I mean, gas is very, very. A lot of people need gas around us as well.
Yeah, now it looks kind of like too that maybe, you know, kind of capital production or T2 and T3 is kind of going up, and looks like it's even pushing that up a little higher now. Be interesting to see if when people actually start making capitals again.
Yeah, we still drop them, so
Yeah.
you got to use them or lose them, I guess.
So I mean, you kind of answered this question a little bit, but like, what do you guys like? Look, what's a prime candidate? Like, what are you looking for? For people to pull in, or what's that perfect pilot?
Well, it's got a broad range. I mean, it perfectly would be someone that is kind of maybe a year old and kind of knows what they're doing, but is still learning and brings their own ideas to the game. I mean, people think of all these tactics that they do, or people use them like as a regular now, but somebody had to think those up, on what you would do. So that's why I encourage New Bro so much, because the game needs so much fresh blood, fresh players, not just regurgitating the same thing. It's getting to 20 years old soon, so
yeah,
we need to keep it fresh, otherwise it's just going to get stagnant and a little boring after a while. So
yeah, it's going to be some cranky old vets just talking about the golden days of Eve.
Exactly. I mean, a candidate like that, a new bro would be fine as well. If they're legitimately new bros, if they come at me with a one-day character and they already know this, and this, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I've done the spy game. I know exactly what you're doing.
I think it's very important that you're doing like a new bro friendly alliance, because I feel like for a lot of people joining this game and stuff like that, the tutorial only shows you so much, but it doesn't advertise itself as a very social game. And in order to like actually play the game, you need to be very socially entwined with your corporation or your alliance. And having more and more alliances that are so friendly and so willing to do for new bros is, I think, I think it's like the most critical thing just to keep this game going. We have so many groups and alliances that are super elite PvP, fartsmith, and so. And it's kind of disheartening for all these new players, just getting trashed on. But having a group, an alliance like such as yourself and Brave, which is so close proximity together, I think that's going to be very good.
Kind of match made in heaven there.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting what sort of bond we can make with them. Because I mean, I don't know if you remember the area a long time ago with GOTG and Horde was living there. They would fight each other all the time, but they also had that like understanding that if it hit the fan, they would come together and defend it. I don't know if that's the sort of thing we would do, but it's an interesting idea going forward, especially with the dragon looming on the north.
Yeah, no.
And the bees looming in the south.
Yeah.
I don't think the bees are going to do anything, but
no, I don't know.
The pandas and the dragons, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, how big is that group going to have to get before something, Yeah, I mean, at some point it's going to get to the point where we can't stop it.
I mean, they had a keep star in, was it Umi? KK?
Yeah. Yep.
And then they just kept changing. The invasion starts in June. The invasion starts in July. The invasion starts in August. And I'm like, when are you guys just going to keep pushing it back? And I'm like, just do it. Just do it already.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see.
Well, they refed our fort in X47, and we called a full TTA to defend it, and I think they did it on purpose just to see what we would form. I mean, we formed a lot. I mean, there was 400 or 500 people, I think. So
I think I came for that too, because that's when Out of the Blue was still in that area.
Yes,
we all formed up to support you guys.
Yeah, you and RHP was there, bless them, before.
Yeah, they were.
That's cool. Huh. Good old times.
And they didn't want that smoke. They didn't want that smoke, Galgarak.
No. Not good.
What do you think? How long do you think it'll take until they try to make another push down south? I mean, it kind of looks like, it's coming. I mean, it's kind of heard some talks, like maybe Brave was kind of working with them. I think, that's all kind of hearsay and all that.
Yeah, that was so. The original post, if you saw it on Reddit, from what I can understand, that was false information fed to test, and then they ran with it and put it on Reddit. And it was actually a troll. As far as I know, they're not working with Fret, but
good.
Now Bander's logs, don't think they're working with Fret, but they definitely time all their structures to Fret times.
Yeah, they gotta do something.
They Bander logs. I mean, we pushed them out of deck, but I tell you what, that was alarm clocking like crazy, or 3 a.m. fleets for me, because I'm in the US, and yeah, it was a little bit much. I know everyone kind of got a bit burnt out on that, and we're pushing them out of deck.
Oh, yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, they seemed like they've been there for a long time, definitely dug in, and yeah, they're no slouches, that's for sure. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the whole Eve Scout there incident?
No.
I guess someone went off and got into their bookmarks and was changing them or something.
Oh.
And it was causing a lot of people to die and get into set up little gate camps.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
I think that's terrible. Eve Scout do nothing but God's work. Leave them alone.
I'll be honest, and you probably won't be happy about it, but we would sit on the undock of Paleo, which was where we lived in Farah. We were insta-locking Lokis, and every time they undocked with whatever scanning ship they had, we would just go bang, bing, bang, bing.
Paleo's my favorite station in there.
Yeah,
I'll try to keep an eye out for you guys sitting out there.
Well, the reason we did it was because they would bookmark these places, and all the null blocks would realize, oh god, there's a Farah entrance there. And so they'd know we're coming from there. So we didn't want that to happen. So we kind of put them red. They're actually red still, I think. So
that's funny.
Yeah.
It was kind of sad to see that go down for a little bit, just because that is such a nice. I could see how it would be problematic for when you guys were living in there, but yeah, that's such a nice tool that they do for us. And I hope they get it figured out and continue to do it. Yeah, it kind of sounds like in the Therahold, did they kind of just make all the bookmarks that were supposed to go to random ones go to one spot? Just we're waiting for them.
Yeah, they went off and they manipulated the bookmarks to basically funnel them into to little like bubble camps and stuff.
Huh.
I mean, that's the sort of genius thing that you gotta. I know it's sad, but you gotta admire that. I mean, it's.
Yeah, it pretty. Kind of look at it too, like with the timing with the 90% drop rate. They've probably been in there waiting for this for a while now.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about the Crimson Harvest.
Yeah, I was like, oh, all right, that's clever. Not only did you get in there somehow, but good timing. All right.
Oh yeah, talking about Crimson Harvest, actually, yeah, all the structures have been killing. They've been dropping nearly everything.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
Right.
I was wondering if you guys were still hitting some of those structures.
Yep.
Are you guys planning on following up on that Keepstar? What's the plan on that?
I don't know if I can talk about that, but I mean, they're getting the shield, and I'm sure we're going for the armor. So they've kind of given up. So they've already moved off to Red Alliance space, apparently.
Really? Wow, close to us. Close to out of the blue.
They got.
Where are you guys going, Eilish?
We're currently down on a little contract in Esoteria.
Nice.
So Red Alliance is not too far away from us.
Yeah, they've moved in. So honestly, we want to scorch the earth. So we're actually probably gonna. I don't know. We might go after them there. Kind of annoyed. They've annoyed us enough.
Did you want me to bring up that article at all, Eilish? I think we pretty well covered the Eve Scout deal.
Oh, no, it's fine. I think we can ask Galgarak our last question. What is some advice you can give someone starting their own alliance or corp? Having your experience, round up all these cats and stuff for We Form Blob.
I would say try not to do it on your own. Try and have some people there with you to do it, because it's easy to get burnt out and discouraged.
Yeah.
Especially I think I listened to you talk about it last time, where you put all that effort into that new bro and everything like that, and then you logged in the next day and he'd gone.
Yep.
So, it's a similar thing. You put a lot of effort in, you get them out there, and then because and to be fair, it's true. When you first start out, there's going to be one or two people on, and I always, whenever I let people join, I was always saying, look, we're just starting out. Please bear with us. It'll get better. I promise. You're at the beginning of something great. I promise you. So stick with us. And most of them did. So it was good. But definitely try and have someone else with you, if not 2 or 3 people. Don't get discouraged. There's plenty of people out there that want opportunity to do different things. You just got to go out there and find them, which can be annoying in itself. But, it's definitely a challenge to begin with, especially when your numbers are so low and you kind of feel disheartened. But just keep up with it. Don't give up.
Yeah, and Eve it's such a game too. It just nothing happens overnight, and I mean, just how you learn skills even takes weeks or 2. I think that kind of trains you to have the right mindset. Building a corp is the same way. It just doesn't happen overnight. It sounds like you guys have kind of been breaking the mold there, which is how fast you've been growing. But typically a good product sells itself. That's awesome to see you guys continue to grow, and definitely need more organizations like yourself that are willing to take on those newer guys and don't have that elitist mentality, even though you're flying with some of the best in the game.
Yep, yeah, definitely. It's definitely been a challenge with that as well. Some people have not been so receptive to it, but you just have to grin and bear some of the comments.
Yeah. And then I just brought up a little bit Eve map, kind of show everyone where you guys are at. Now you got your little flag on the map, and see your big nemesis right there on the right, and
yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah, I only just took those TCUs yesterday and today, so
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's nice to see us on the map finally. I think that also helps with recruitment.
Yeah, I know that was one thing. It was a short-lived time that our alliance held a constellation, but it definitely was a cool moment. Just kind of see your flag in the sand out there. It's definitely one of the big allures of nullsec. It may not mean much to some people, but it means a lot to you guys as members.
Oh, exactly. I remember in Tosis in that first iHub in the pentagram, and I took a picture of it and sent it to the Blob D leadership, and look, it's a special moment, guys.
That's awesome. Well, unless you got anything else to say, you're more than welcome to stay on with us. Kind of getting to the end of the little show here. Kind of got a little meme.
Meme of a battle report to look over to celebrate Crimson Harvest.
Oh yeah.
And take it away, Eilish. I got it up on screen right now.
So this was a absolute fucking. Oh my god, my heart would be absolutely broken if I lost any of these. They lost 2 super carriers, 2 faction super carriers. They lost a Vendetta and a Revenant, and it was just in time for Crimson Harvest. So all of their officer loot dropped. I mean, just around 500 billion just lost.
Oh, oh man, that would be painful. I think I penciled it. I know it was. I did a quick little calculation, and I came up with it somewhere between $6,000 to $6,500, kind of real world equivalent for this one.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, yeah.
I'm curious to see if they were the same pilot, and they were just throwing them out to the wind because they're done with the game, or if they genuinely got caught.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a backstab? I thought it was a backstab.
I don't know. I haven't really heard too much of the aggressors.
Those 2 characters, they've lost the same ships before. If you look at their kill board, this is the second time they've lost them.
Oh,
yeah, but this was before they joined Horde,
Oh.
So maybe they just have a habit of destroying an alliance kill board. I don't know.
There's a lot of blingy items in the fleet hangar on one of them. I don't know if they're necessarily moving or something, but almost everything in here is either faction or Officer mods.
It's probably refits.
Yeah.
You know what I absolutely love about this kind of content CCP is providing with the Crimson Harvest? I think it's honestly very, very awesome just to get that PvP side, PvP reward. Because you can sell a PvP, you can small gang and stuff like that, but the loot fairy the majority of the time tells you to fuck off.
Yeah.
But having this 90% drop rate is just absolute. It's like trick or treating. You're just running around, candy please, give me your shiny stuff, give me your abyssals, and everything drops.
Oh yeah, and this kind of created a little bit of a problem for us. This morning. So the area we've been in, we kind of have figured out the local Darwinism. They like to start a fight on an undock, and then they got a cloaked up Proteus that has a covert ops Sino. So they engage you. This thing's brick tanked. It tackles you and newts you. You can't go anywhere, and then they drop a Panther on you and a Widow the last time. So we've kind of been getting to that point, like, okay, like it's a little oppressive, but we can do this. If we had 6-7 guys, some logi, kind of get a little bit of a plan. Finally did that today. Things like, all right, Sino's lit, here it comes. And they dropped 9 Black Ops battleships on us. It was one of those super defeating moments when I was like, I mean, there's nothing we can really do about this for months. Even if we grow at a good rate. So we finally just like, that's it, we're done. I hopped on Dotland, found a spot over in Placid, and we're pretty much already moved at this point. So, but getting to my point with that 90% drop rate, we had some guys hauling some stuff, and I was like, we're gonna have to figure something else out here, because this makes us way more gankable now. Kind of be interesting to see how many freighter kills happen. Well, I mean, it happens every year. Those freighter pilots typically aren't paying attention to these events and get kind of caught with their pants down. But yeah.
I mean, I feel like during this time, a lot of NPSI fleets happen, and there's a lot of the high sec ganking that goes on with orcas and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's a good payday on a lot of these deals. Well, I think that's about all I got.
Yes, sir, that's all I got. You got anything for us, Cal?
Not really, no. Just if you guys are interested in the old blob, just go to join blob channeling game. There's people there will take you up. If you want to join as a co-op, chat to me. We'll talk to you about that. And yeah, thanks for having me on. It's been nice to be able to chat. I think
you've been awesome.
Yeah, really appreciate you coming on here. Maybe we'll check back in with you here after a couple, 3 or 4 weeks. Kind of just do a little highlight and see where you guys have gone.
Yeah, we'll probably took branch by then and so on. So
yeah.
Oh, branch.
Sky's the limit. Yeah. So for the old Twitch stream, been once again pretty. Kind of really can't believe how many views we've been getting, and then kind of little deal popped up. It's like, oh, this is what you got to do to get affiliated. And I was like, oh, that's not too bad. So, gonna do the little plug. If you guys can help us out and at least get us to 50 followers, just so we meet that little criteria, it'd be greatly appreciated. And then, once again, my corp, social infrastructure, still growing, pulling in new guys, a couple guys here and there. But if you're interested, you want to give LowSec a try, we can show you a thing or two. Got a pretty cool little group going on. Yeah, want to thank all the guys there. They've been super cool. Definitely making some new friends in game, growing that whole community thing. It's been super fun. Give a shout out to Judge and Bacon, as always. You want to give a little shout out there, Mr. Eilish?
No, sir. Not today. Nothing for out of the blue today.
All right. Well, once again, thanks, guys. Thanks, Eilish, for being on here with me. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.